friends, the scriptures tell us that the way to heaven is narrow and straight, but the path to perdition is wide and lined with pleasant diversions. Well, the apostle who made this observation must have had our San Francisco in mind. Out there, you'll find the road so narrow that two buggies can hardly pass without locking wheels. When it's dry, the dust will blind you. And when it rains, you'll need a boat. Down below there, in that part of the city which I call Hell's Canyon, the lights are always bright and the liquor never ceases to flow. The flesh pots of San Francisco put to shame those of Singapore and Shanghai. There's the saloon on Montgomery Street, which has the effrontery to boast that any customer who can name a vice which they cannot gratify will be rewarded with a champagne supper. I have kept a daily record of the charges against the Jewel Bar. Miners cheated, sailors shanghaied, young women lured into a life of shame. How long will decent, God-fearing people permit such wickedness to flourish? I've been warned not to attack this vile zinc, but I shall attack.
You all right, Reverend?
Thanks. I'm all right.
The Californians.
California, I've come to live where life is best. In the Golden West, I'm gonna strike it rich in California. California.
The whole story is there in the California Star. I know it's there because I wrote it. San Francisco was no Sunday school after they found gold. The gold brought people from all over the world, some of them good, lots of them bad. And the bad soon had the upper hand. There was no use looking to the police, so a group of decent, honest citizens organized the vigilantes in 1851. The proof for the first page, Mr. Brennan.
Huh? 2 full columns on one preacher's sermon, Dean? Thought I told you that the essence of good reporting... Well. Spangler's going after Bozeman's hide again, hmm?
That's right.
Preacher was shot at? Print it.
I'd like to see someone about placing an advertisement, one of a personal nature.
That's Mr. Patrick's department.
How do you do, Mrs.
Mrs. Manning. Maud Manning. If you will write, I will dictate.
All right, ma'am.
Wanted. Information leading to the whereabouts of Lucy Manning, 17 years of age, 5'2", fair of hair and skin. She disappeared several days ago, and it is feared she may be the victim of foul play. A substantial reward is offered.
Well, this young lady, she's a relative of yours?
Lucy's my daughter. She's all I have. If you could help to find her, bring her back to me.
Well, what day was it exactly, and who was she last seen with?
I don't know. All I know, I'm asking you to find her, please.
You know, a story like this belongs where everybody can read it, right on the first page.
How can I ever repay you?
The California Star is always pleased to help a lady in distress.
Thank you. Thank you.
What was the lady in distress about?
Well, her daughter disappeared. She may be kidnapped.
You believe her?
Well, I don't know. We'll publish the story and find out.
A plea for assistance by Dean Patrick. Men of San Francisco, rouse your chivalry, summon up your honor. Heartbroken mother asks your assistance. 17, blue eye.
Yeah, it's pretty awful, isn't it?
Why, I think it's beautiful.
It was a very touching story, Dean. Yes, heartbroken mother. Do you mean to tell me that Sam Brannan let you put your name on this thing?
He made me put it on. He said he didn't want anybody to think he was the author of such hogwash.
I can see what he means. Well, if you take my advice, I'd give the newspaper business up.
Well, if we don't find that girl, I might have to.
It's for you, Dean.
Small boy brought it.
Dear sir, if you are sincere in your wish to help a certain young lady, come to the Sailor's Lodging House on Water Street, ask for Meg.
Let me see that. No signature.
Water Street is in the roughest part of the city.
Well, that's what I get for writing about chivalry.
We're full up. Go away.
You Meg?
Who wants Meg?
I do.
Who are you?
Dean Patrick, California Star.
Come in. Wait here.
Mr. Patrick,
Yes?
thank you for coming. Please sit down. I'm Lucy Manning. This is the least likely place my stepmother would look for me.
You mean Mrs. Manning is not your real mother?
Indeed, she's not. She's my guardian. And a mean, scheming woman.
Is that why you're running away?
Mr. Patrick, I'm a singer. My stepmother assured me that she'd arranged an engagement here with a Mr. Bozeman. Do you know him?
Everybody knows Charlie Bozeman.
She neglected to tell me that I was expected to do more than sing. I read your article in the Star, and I thought maybe you'd help me.
I will if I can.
I need passage to the east and a safe place to hide until the ship's ready to sail. I have the money for my ticket, but I don't dare show my face.
Well, the first thing to do is to get you out of here.
Then you will help me? I've been hiding here for a week, seeing no one but Meg. I swore I wouldn't cry. And now look at me.
Ah, come on now. Let's get your things, huh? In case you didn't hear, Meg, I'm taking the young lady with me.
Can they force the child to go back legally?
Yes, I'm afraid so, since she's still underage. Martha and I could have kept her at our house, but that would have been dangerous since I'm always under attack.
Well, this is obviously a case involving more than legal rights. I doubt very much if there's a law in the book that would compel me to turn over a young girl to a man like Charles Bozeman.
Oh, excuse me. I just hope I haven't brought trouble to all you nice people.
Well, I don't think you could bring trouble to anyone.
Bring that woman in. Charlie, we've got some news. Lucy's been staying at a lodging house on Water Street.
Nice place you got here, Mr. Bozeman.
I'm very grateful to you for bringing news of my daughter.
Oh, I brought it all right. But I haven't delivered it yet, dearie. There's a little matter of reward first.
You don't look like the kind of a woman that would accept pay for returning a wayward girl to her mother.
Her? The rate should be double.
I believe the reward mentioned was $100. Here's half. You get the other half if your information is correct.
It's correct, all right.
Morning, Mr. Brannan.
Morning, Sheriff.
You know Charlie Bozeman?
I sure do.
Do you have an employee named Dean Patrick?
I'm Dean Patrick.
We're looking for a girl named Lucy Manning.
Why come to me?
You took her from a lodging house on Water Street last night.
Me?
Yes, you.
I'm a newspaper man, Sheriff. I go many places, see many people.
Now, look, young fella, kidnapping is a very serious offense.
It's also a serious charge to me.
We don't want any trouble. All we want is a girl.
What's your interest in this case, Charlie?
Just a friend of the family.
I can imagine.
I suggest you take an ad in Lost and Found, Mr. Bozeman.
Come on, Sheriff.
Well, fat's in the fire now, my boy.
How so?
Well, they know you know where the girl is. Be dangerous for you to see her now.
Who says I have to? She's in good hands.
Who says? I say. Nature says. Where's some of that gallantry and chivalry you were writing about?
She's only a young girl.
Well, young girls have a way of becoming young women, you know. Now, you wouldn't want her to take away the wrong impression of California men, would you? You'll see her again. But watch out for those Bosemans.
A few days ago, I thought this was the worst city in the world. Now I'm getting to like it. Thanks to you, and the McGiverns and the Spanglers. You've all been so kind to me.
Well, that's good. Maybe you'll pay us another visit when you're a famous singer.
Dean, what if I told you that I didn't want to leave? That I wanted to stay right here?
Oh, now, wait a minute. Jack McGivern's arranging with the Clipper captain for your passage right now. I'll know tonight when you're going to sail.
Well, I don't see why I have to.
Are you forgetting that you're hiding from Charlie Bozeman and that stepmother of yours? And what about your singing career?
There are lots more important things to a woman than a career. Besides, I'm not frightened of that Manning woman anymore, or the Bosemans either. Dean?
Well, thank you, gentlemen, for helping me with this petition.
No, not at all, Reverend.
And Charlie, welcome.
I'm sorry, madam. The office is closed.
So it should be at this hour.
Well, if you'll
I have
excuse...
an urgent message from the young man who works here.
Dean?
I'm to tell you that the Bosemans have taken Lucy Manning.
What? Where? When?
And that he's gone to rescue her. And that you're to give me $20.
What for?
Well, how would he know where they'd taken the girl if I hadn't have told him?
Tell me where, and you'll have your 20.
They've taken her to their place.
If he's gone to the Bozeman's place, that's a very dangerous bluff he's trying.
Dean's a headstrong young man.
You are my ward, and according to the law, you're going to do exactly what I tell you to do for the next 4 years, until you're 21.
All right, where is she?
That's none of your business.
Mr. Patrick, how nice to see you. I want to thank you for helping me find my little girl.
Let him go.
Why?
Going in, maybe he's got the law with him. Coming out, if he tries to take the girl, why, that's kidnapping. When we take him apart, it's best that we have the law behind us.
The Spanglers are in church. I thought it was you.
I know.
Young man, you have no authority. Lucy's my ward.
Don't waste your breath. He's not taking Lucy anywhere.
I'm not armed, but I'm taking this girl with me. If you try to stop me, I'm coming back with the vigilantes.
I don't think you'll be coming back with the vigilantes or without them. As a matter of fact, I don't think you'll be leaving here at all.
the fight your pastor has waged to purge this city of the Bozemans and their kind? Information has reached us that both Charlie and his nephew are wanted in Boston for crimes committed there. It took the wanton shooting of Lucy Manning to rouse this city. I have in my hands a petition with over 5,000 signatures of outraged citizens demanding that these men be returned to Massachusetts for trial. I will deliver this petition to our governor in Sacramento personally.
There now, young lady. You're coming along fine.
You hear that, Lucy?
Thank you, Doctor.
Don't thank me. Thank the Lord for giving you such vitality. I'll see you tomorrow. Keep her quiet. She still has a trace of fever.
I will, Doctor.
How is she?
About as you'd expect a young lady who's taken a slug to be.
Well, when can I see her?
She's been asking about Dean.
All right. But only for a minute and no more.
Hello.
Well, the doctor says you're doing fine.
It was nice of you to give up your room.
Well, I had nothing to do with that. I was laid up too, remember?
Where are you staying?
Over at the Brannons. They took me there when they brought you here.
Lying here's given me a lot of time to think. I owe you so much.
Not as much as I owe you.
All right, Dean. You've overstayed your minute.
I'm off.
Dean, if I get well, there's something that
If you get well. Now, what kind of talk is that? In 2 weeks, you'll be up and on your way home.
Do you believe that proverb that if you save someone's life, then that life belongs to you?
Why, I don't know.
Those petitions are mighty dangerous, Reverend. Maybe you better wait here and let Dean drive you home.
Oh, it's not necessary. Thanks for getting these extra 8,000 signatures. Good night.
Good night.
I promised to take Reverend Spangler home. Where is he?
He just left.
Alone?
Mm-hmm.
Took a whole week to gather those extra petitions. Which way did he go?
Shortest way, I guess.
Maybe I can catch up with him.
Good evening, sir.
We got another signature for you, Reverend. Come on, let's get a drink.
Now, first you're going to give yourself up to the sheriff. That's a clear case of self-defense, nephew.
What's that?
It's nerves. Come on.
This meeting of the Vigilante Committee has been called to deal with the cold-blooded murder of the Reverend Spangler. Our investigation has shown that the Reverend Spangler never owned or carried a gun. One of our members, Dean Patrick, was the sole witness to this murder, but his testimony was rejected because of the darkness. Now, as customary in vigilante matters, no action will be taken until our courts have had a chance to fulfill their function. The case is now in preliminary hearing before Judge Morton. whom we know to be in the pay of the Bozeman's. This meeting of the Vigilante Committee will remain in session until we hear the outcome of that hearing.
It is the conclusion of this court that since there were no eyewitnesses to dispute the claim that the defendant fired in self-defense, there remains insufficient evidence to hold the accused Hector Bozeman for further trial. Case dismissed. This court stands adjourned.
Boy, hello, you beggars. Come on, let's go.
I'd say this is quite a party, huh?
Listen.
Vigilantes, halt!
Bar the doors. The guns are in the office.
We just want Charles and Hector Bozeman. The rest of you stay where you are. There will be no sermon here today. The lesson that might have been brought to us has already been told in the life of a man who died to tell it. I just want you all to know that he didn't die in vain. Because he gave men the courage to act. He made the city of ours, San Francisco, re-examine its conscience. Charlie Bozeman will be returned to Massachusetts to stand trial for the crimes he committed there. Hector Bozeman will never murder again, because by the will of the people, you, last night, he paid the penalty for his crime. Someone will preach in this church again. I can only hope that he will stand as tall in the pulpit as the man who made Christian decency more than just mere words in this city of ours.
Good morning, dear.
Morning.
So Lucy sailed, huh?
That's right. This morning with Mrs. Spangler.
You let her get away from you. She was in love with you.
Was she?
Beats me. Here we need women like a desert needs water, and you let one slip right through your fingers. If I did my patriotic duty, I'd fire you.
Well, before you do, did you look at this?
Vigilante Committee votes to disband, having acted firmly and efficiently in the murder of Reverend Spangler. Nonsense. We should have hung Charlie Bozeman right alongside of Hector. Saved Boston a lot of time and expense.
Time and expense aren't important. The important thing is the day isn't far off when that vigilante bell may never toll again.
Print it, but don't hold your breath.
California. Oh, I've traveled here, I've traveled there. I guess I've been most everywhere. But I like where I am today, and here is where I'll stay. Now, one thing I just can't endure is being broke and being poor. So I come west to take the cure, and here is where I'll stay. I've come to California, California. There's gold in them there hills in California. I've come to live where life is best, in the golden west. I'm gonna strike it rich in California, California.